That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
President Biden plans to request an additional $5 trillion in spending over the next decade when he releases his first budget tomorrow.
Sure, more spending. Let's keep on spending. Unbelievable. The more they spend, the more the debt goes up, the more they call in the Federal Reserve, ask them to print some money up to the Treasury and buy down their debt. And the lower that yield goes down, every time they print money and buy that debt and the yields go down in a 10-year Treasury, the more the big tech stocks go up. When they tell you the Federal Reserve is in your corner, they want small businesses, they want to help you on Main Street, it's all a bold-faced lie. They want to see spending. They want to see debt. They want to be the firemen who come in and save the day and keep taking that money that's printed by the Treasury and going and keep buying down the debt, buying down the debt. After all, we have a $21 trillion economy, and we're almost at a $30 trillion debt. We're going to be there in a couple months. But they're the heroes. When the Federal Reserve, I keep telling you, need to be shut down. They're killing you, Main Street. They're killing the people. They're killing the middle class, wiping them out. They're killing the people who husband and wife make anywhere from $45,000 up to $100,000. They're killing them. And they're the backbone of this country. They care about one thing only, the Federal Reserve, who control these rich, what we call the 1/100th or 1%, who control the Federal Reserve, along with Wall Street, the elitists. They want one thing only since 2013. Keep buying those big tech stocks. Do you know how much wealth they created since 2013? These elitists, the 1/100th of 1% they're referred to as our owners, who control the Federal Reserve, who controls the money supply, who controls the interest rates. They control our lives. Can you imagine printing money instead of putting it into the economy to grow jobs so we can grow the economy where it's larger than our debt? That's what we should be doing. Then we all benefit. Interest rates go back up to where they're normal. You have good paying jobs. That's what they used to do, the Federal Reserve. To have the debt of this country higher than the size of our economy is nuts. But who benefits? A very small segment of our economy. Very small. The 1/100th of 1% into 1 percentile. These are your banksters on Wall Street, your hedge funds on Wall Street, your big banks, your hedge funds, your insurance companies, the elitists. They want more debt. They love to hear that this administration is going to ask for another $5 trillion. They love to hear that in 100 days they spent $10 trillion. Add on another $2 trillion for Trump before he left office. They love this. Keep on pouring it on. And every day they call the fire department, call the Federal Reserve. They call over their buddies at Treasury. Hey, print some more money. Send it to us. We're in charge of the money here. We're in charge of the money supply. Someone's going to ask, well, are you going to put any money to help the economy? Oh, no. We got to buy down that debt. And what does that do? Buying down the debt. You know that 10-year Treasury yield? You know what that is? You lend money to the government. In return, you get a 10-year Treasury yield. China lends money to the government. They got a 10-year Treasury yield. Germany does. Japan does. All lend to the government. They all get that little certificate says Treasury yield. What is that? That's debt. So when with that kind of debt growing every day, like a credit card, it gets tapped out. So they go in and buy it, the Federal Reserve. Who the hell's this Federal Reserve anyways? A bunch of gangsters. They're financial terrorists. They're destroying our country. I had a laugh today. Everybody's all excited on CNBC. Oh, did you see the Fed stocks go up? Oh, did you, anybody see Facebook went up. Facebook went up. Google went up. Google went up. Really? These guys made so much money since 2013 on Wall Street. All these guys that you see on all the hosts on Fox Business, on CNBC, on Bloomberg, all the hosts, all the guests, they've made a fortune. They're so addicted to these 5-6 stocks that's been holding up this economy, not the economy, been holding up the S&P, About 8 stocks have been driving this S&P. You don't believe me? Apple, since 2013, up 931%. Amazon, up 1,162%. Remember now, this wouldn't have happened unless the fire department, the Federal Reserve, went in and bought that debt to drive yields down in that 10-year Treasury. Well, why don't they just stop spending? Oh, good point. But then they wouldn't make money, would they? See, Netflix went up 1,900%. But see, if they did that, think about that. If they decided to do what was right for America, what was right for Main Street, Congress stopped spending, or at least when they print the money, why don't we take the damn money and why don't we put it into the economy? Make the CEOs take that money and invest in their companies so they produce more goods, sell more goods. That's how the nation works. You got to produce stuff. We should be forcing them to do that. We could do that by making illegal stock buybacks. If they were forced to take that money that they're printing and put it into the economy, rather than going in and saying to the Treasury Department, oh, don't worry, we're here to save you. We're going to take all that debt. We're going to buy all those treasuries that you borrowed on from China, from John Smith and Joni and the Japanese. We're going to buy all that from you. Are we good guys? We're going to buy all that debt off the balance sheet so you can go run up debt even more. What does that do? It drives the interest rate down. And what is it that drives Apple 931%, Amazon 1,162%, Netflix 1,900%, Microsoft 965%? What drives that? 10-year yields that were low. If you don't believe me, go and take a look at the Treasury yields back in February 2020 after the crash. They were 81 basis points. And from February 2020 to February 2021, a fortune was made by the gangsters, the Wall Street people, the people who own the Federal Reserve. They made a fortune because those interest rates were 81 basis points. But then they went to 125 basis points. What happened then? I'll explain when I come back. We are being screwed.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Warning, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
If the bonds are telling the truth, which they often do, then the cheapest stock in this market are FANG.
Really,
and
Jim?
I think FANG's back.
Wow, they're back early, Jim. Go ahead and buy them. Go ahead and buy them, Jim. Now, let's take a look at, I told you, the yields on the 10-year Treasury. Remember what's important about the 10-year Treasury. What the hell is that all about? You got to remember that. That's why there's not buses down in Congress going in there and pulling out the congressmen, by their ears and just pull them out of Congress, get rid of them. that people just understand, but they don't. They're getting killed. As long as someone owns a double wide or a mobile home, and if somebody owns a mobile home or a car or whatever, furniture, and they ask the store or whatever, what is the late payment? That, you know, the people who made the most money are the people who are in the mobile home business. You know that. And also the auto business. You know that too, right? Those two have made the most money. Why? Because anybody can buy a car, okay? Anybody can buy a mobile home. And access to credit is incredible. Anybody can buy these things. And most of the people, when they go in, all they ask is, what is the late payment? Any business you're in, they're asking, what is the late payment? That's the business you want to be in. Because that's all they care about. They don't know what inflation is or anything else. Inflation is destroying those very people. Those very people, they don't know it. They don't know it. And the politicians are lying, saying they're trying to help them. No, they're not. They're not trying to help them. They're destroying them. Because the 10-year treasury, remember what that is? Is our government keeps borrowing money. How do they borrow? Who do they borrow it from? They borrow it from China. They borrow from Japan. They borrow from you. They borrow from Harry down the road, Mary down the road. What do? They simply say, they have an auction. And at the auction, they sell treasuries. Just a little piece of paper is not worth anything. You get this little piece of paper that says, I loaned to the government $2,000. And you have a date when it's due. That's debt. So we have now, in debt, nearly $30 trillion in debt. Well, Congress, wouldn't it be nice if they stopped spending? But they don't. They just came out. The politicians came out and said they want to spend, they're going to borrow $5 more trillion. So they're going to hold auctions. China will come to the auction. Japan. Harry and Frank will come to the auction. They have the auction. They get more money on treasury than doing the savings. That's called crowding. That screws the economy right there. People don't even know that. They have no clue what that means. When you decide to take your money out of the bank and lend it to the government, you just screwed your neighbor. Yourself first. And what's worse, after everybody lends all this money to the government, they don't put the money to good use. They don't take the money, they printed all this money, and say, you know what, let's do this with the money. Let's make sure we grow the economy. Let's have a meeting with all the CEOs of all the manufacturing companies, and we want to produce more. Let's keep producing more goods, more items. Let's keep producing goods. That's where we're going to put the money. Let's give these companies low interest rates so that they can buy all the machinery they need. And they can depreciate it the minute they buy a piece of machinery. If you buy a piece of machinery and it's $500,000, you can depreciate it the day you buy it. That means you get it tax-free. The day you buy it, instead of over 10 years or so. Which Biden is now going to go from Biden wants to, where you're going to have to write it off over 10, 15 years, something stupid like that. But those are what treasuries are. It's just a note to you from the government. They go and buy that note, the Federal Reserve. But to buy that note, they have to print money. Not them, but Treasury, who gives them the money to go buy the note from you. And every time they do that, what happens? The yield on the Treasury goes down. And that means the big FANG stocks that Kramer's talking about, the big FANG stocks are more attractive. As long as the interest rates or yield on the 10-year Treasury keep dropping, people keep buying the big FANG stocks. They're attractive as long as those yields are. I'll give you an example. March 24, 2020, the yield was at 81 basis points. For a whole year, right after the crash from February 19, 2020 to March 23, 2020, when we dropped, remember, the yields were at 155 basis points on February 19, 2020. On March 23, 2020, after the crash, the 35% crash, they dropped to 81 basis points. 155 to 81. And those stocks were so popular. Why? Because the yields are low. That's when they thrive. Interest rates are low. So the idea what the government keeps doing is make sure the government keeps on having more and more debt. If they keep having more debt, then that means the Federal Reserve's got to go buy that debt. It's a scam. The more debt, the more the Federal Reserve's got to buy that debt down so the congressman can spend more. Top it off again. Credit card's topped. Go in, Federal Reserve comes in, buys it again. Run up the debt, buy it again. Run the debt, buy it again. It's crazy. All to keep those interest rates low so you can keep pushing up the same stocks since 2013. Google came out in 2014. 2014. Google is now up 370%. But let's take Facebook. Facebook in 2013 is now up over 1,000%. Amazon, 1,162%. Netflix, 1,900%. Microsoft, 965%. In 90 months. Why'd those stocks go up? They went up because, according to the Fed, they're so happy, and Wall Street's happy. They're saying, thank God we owe so much money in the national debt. So the Fed keeps coming and have to buy that debt off the balance sheet to keep driving those yields down. So these stocks keep going up. So now the yield is at today I think is 165. Are you kidding me? From 85? 156 from 85 points? This is nuts. I'll tell you the consequences when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. Banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. Everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up. It never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Game. Okay, I gave you... All right, now remember what we're doing here. I'm going to show you how stupid this is. That people aren't catching on. If they caught on, they'd be down in Washington screaming. Why are you buying the debt? Why aren't you taking that money instead of buying the debt, growing our economy? But they're buying the debt so that they can keep bringing the 10-year Treasury yield down by printing all this money so they can keep making more money on these, what they call FANG stocks. They're big tech stocks. So think about this. In 2009, if you take from 2009, Netflix is up 9,900%. Since 2013, up 1,900%. Let's take Microsoft. Up since 2009, up 2009 up 9,000. I mean 1685. That's since 2009, and since 2013, 965. But here's the big ones. Apple. Since 2009, they've gone up 4,500%. Since 2013, up 940%. Amazon, since 2009, is up 6,400%. Since 2013, 1,162%. This is outrageous. Well, how do they get those up so high? By making sure the yield on the 10-year Treasury is low. And the only way they can get that low is to purposely drive our national debt up so they have an excuse to go in and buy it off their balance sheet to debt so the Congress will have room to spend more money. They announced today they're going to spend another $5 trillion on stimulus. How are they going to get that money? They're going to have an auction, bought from you, bought from China, Japan. You're going to get a certificate, it says Treasury bill. That goes on their balance sheet as debt to them because they owe you. Now, when it's tapped out again, they'll call the Federal Reserve, look like great guys, come in, and they're going to buy that debt off that balance sheet. They're going to buy all the debt that's on their balance sheet, the national debt, buy it. And when they buy that debt, because they print all that money to buy that debt, the yield goes down. But what goes up? Inflation. They're doing this for one reason, so that the top 1 percentile, the 1/100th of 1 percentile, the elitists can keep making money. They're addicted to these dozen stocks. They're addicted. Today you want to see them on CNBC. They're still in there they're promoting all day long, I think you should buy Amazon. Why would I buy Amazon? Because, see, they're so addicted, they can't look at buying anything else. I'm being serious. They can't. They just can't. Every time they move away from for 2, 3, 4 weeks like we've been, they break out in sweats. They start breaking out. They start crawling in a corner somewhere. Okay, they're just they can't handle it. They should open up a rehab for big tech. So until the day comes, get ready for the biggest crash in history. Because until the day comes, somebody comes to their senses and say, we are no longer, the Federal Reserve, going to have the Treasury print money, give to us to go buy the national debt that the Congress keeps running up. Where the national debt is always bigger, always much bigger than what we take in our revenue. In other words, what we sell for goods. We have we sell $21 trillion in goods. That's what we produce, $21 trillion in goods, but our debt's $30 trillion. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're going to be selling less and less and less. So our debt is so lopsided, we're going to be at $30 trillion, and we're only going to be selling 21 trillion in goods. Do you understand that? Then we're all of a sudden going to be at 35 trillion we owe. And we're still only selling 21 trillion. Then we're going to be at 40. We'll be in such a depression, but nobody cares. As long as they can buy Google, Microsoft, Netflix, that's all they care about. That's all everybody cares about on Wall Street. You got to have somebody stop this, or otherwise you better learn how to short. So I got my members, I said, look, are you nuts? And if you really think they're going to, what you think they're going to do? You think they're going to actually take Netflix and Amazon and go from Apple? I'm just using 2013. I'm using 2013 numbers on Apple and Microsoft. Take Microsoft. They're just 2013, it's up 965%. Just use Microsoft. I'm not even going back, okay, to where it's up 1,600% since 2009. So you think these stocks are a bargain? That's what he's saying. Kramer's saying these stocks are a bargain. Is he nuts?
If the bonds are telling the truth, which they often do, then the cheapest stock in this market are FANG. And I think
here's the big problem. Here's what they're killing. They're killing this country by killing small businesses. That's right. They're killing us. And they're killing the middle class. This is what happens when they keep on buying the debt instead of taking that money and putting it into small businesses to drive the size of our economy, our productivity. Remember, small businesses are the backbone of the nation. We have 28 million small businesses. And they collectively not only contribute to our standard of living, but they contribute 55% to our economic GDP growth. They provide 66% of all new jobs. They employ 72 million Main Street people, 22 million jobs. They generate 55% of the sales of this country. That creates 4 times more wealth for your community. They develop 26 more patents per employee, compared to the big companies, 1.7% in patents per employee. What are you, nuts? It was small businesses, remember, that came up with the idea of the airplane, air conditioning, defibrillator, DNA, fingerprinting. You know that overnight,
national delivery of packages. That came up, a small businessman came up with that idea. The safety razor, small businessman, strobe lights, even the zipper. Even the idea of selling books over the internet, that came from small businesses. But they're killing the small business because what are they doing? The first thing they do is load up. They don't want small businesses to grow. They don't want small, because they can't make money on small businesses. Even though it's the small businesses that are innovative. But they don't care about that. See, small businesses grow the economy. But Wall Street doesn't care about the small business. They can't make money on the small business. They can't make, like Microsoft, 1,600% on a small business. But it's the small business that's going to, they're going to be out of business. First of all, the middle class is going to be gone. But it's the small business that's innovative. They're innovative. They're the ones that comes out with all these patents. This is crazy, but they're getting killed now. You can't even go to the bank, a small businessman, and get a loan. So the Federal Reserve and the bureaucrats in Washington are destroying small businesses, which create our jobs. The small and startup businesses create over 66% of all new jobs. People don't even, if people understood what I'm saying right now, they'd be in buses going to Washington. They're going to destroy this country while a few people are going to be so filthy rich. The greed is unbelievable. You think Microsoft up 1,600% is enough? Or Apple up 4,500% is enough? No, they want to go up more. So they're going to make sure the debt keeps growing, not the economy. So they can keep growing these stocks. So you got to be in the right stocks. And I'll tell you which ones they are when I come back. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
If the bonds are telling the truth, which they often do, then the cheapest stock in this market are FANG.
Okay, so let's check it out. These are cheap, he says. Netflix, since 2009, is up 10,000%. Since 2013, nearly 2,000%. How could that be? Because since 2009, this has been 2008, it's been one big con job on the American people called quantitative easing. Keeping interest rates down at zero. And how do you do that? You keep on buying the debt of our country, the Federal Reserve, and every time you buy that debt, the interest rates go down. But to buy that debt, you're printing money. And all that money you're printing is killing the buying power on your dollar. And that's why when you're going to the gas station, gas is so high. You go to the supermarket, bread and everything else is so high. So the more they print money to move think of this, they're printing money to move the stocks up. A handful of stocks that the people on Wall Street, the CEOs, the head of the big hedge funds, the insurance companies, they're all made a fortune, and you don't want to stop. It's not enough for these people to be up 10,000. They're still going to screw Main Street because you on Main Street, every time the government spends more money, they're going to make sure the government gets that debt off their balance sheet, but they're not going to put any money into small businesses, no money into growing our economy. So our economy is always going to be growing slower than our debt. That is a death spiral, but nobody understands that. All they're going to listen to today is Kramer, and they're going to start buying the FANG stocks. Well, if you're going to buy the FANG stocks, you make sure, and I told my members, the only FANG stocks we're going to buy if they break out to new highs, and that's going to be Facebook. But you got to be very careful because these yields aren't going to keep going down. They're going to go higher. They're going to go much higher. They're lying to you, saying they're not, that there's no inflation. That's what they're selling you, saying there's no inflation, so don't worry about it. The yields are going to go down, not up on the bonds. They are selling bonds all over Europe, the treasuries. They're dumping them all over. China's dumping them. Japan's dumping them. They can't print money fast enough to go in and run and buy all those bonds, the Federal Reserve, because there's not enough buyers out there. So they're going to buy all they can possibly can to make sure they keep the yields down. Because guess what? Our note, the national debt, the interest of $375 billion we owe on $28 trillion that we pay 2.2% interest on, they're doing everything they can to make sure it doesn't go to 2.5%. Because if it reaches 2.5%, we could have that could kick off the major crash. So so Congress is having a ball with this. They know it's an open spigot. They know that they got to go for it. Spend all the money you want. Why do you think Biden in the first 100 days spent $10 trillion? Why do you think he's announcing today spending another $5 trillion? Because no one's going to stop him, because the more he spends, the more these stocks go up. And that's where all Wall Street is on these stocks. But people are going to get slammed just like they did with the dot-coms. When these stocks fall, do you understand what's going on? You're going to be seeing stocks that are up, that are up 1,000%, 10,000%, 4,000%. Do you know what's going to happen when they crash? Do you know how many people will be running out of these stocks? This is the biggest bubble in mankind. I mean, Microsoft's up 9,659%. Apple, 4,500%. Amazon, 6,400%. Do you know what's going to happen the day that they can't keep those rates down anymore, those yields down, where they can't keep the interest we pay on the national debt at 2.2%? When that hits 2.5, 2.6%, which it will, because there's not enough buyers for all the bonds that are being sold by China, by Japan, by Germany. There's not enough buyers. So we keep printing more and more money to go buy those, to make sure the interest rate doesn't go from 2.2% to 2.5%. And every time we print $1, you go to the grocery store, you need more of them to buy what you bought last week. So if you want to make money in this market and protect yourself, please join my gang free for 10 days, because you're going to be in the right stocks. Give you an example. Well, everybody's screwing around with these stocks that they're going to get killed in, these FANG stocks. We bought airlines. I told my gang, let's go buy the, just like we made 60% in gold. Nobody wanted gold. We got into gold. 60%. Oil. When nobody wanted oil, we got into oil. Took us about 3-4 months before oil took off, but we got in. And we got about a 40-45% gain. Now I said, start buying the airlines. And we're starting, and just buy, I told them to buy the ETF, jets. Then you got them all in one basket. You think Wall Street wants to buy these? They want the FANG stocks. Every day, our portfolio, you're protected, because every day, Steve, who's the head of our education department, goes over each stock in our portfolio with the color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, when not to add. Hold your hand.
Intel continue to hold this one short. Our stop is at...
And it explains every one of our stocks in our member portfolio. How can you go wrong with that? But what's so frustrating is these people in Washington don't give a damn about you or me. If they did, they would protect the small business. It's the small business. Since the Pilgrims landed on our shores, for heaven's sakes, and then they expanded through the West, it's small businesses that built this country. We have 28 million small businesses. They contribute our standard of living, not Netflix, not Amazon, not Google. They provide 66% of all net new jobs, not Apple, not Google. They generate 55% of the country's sales. They create 4 times more wealth for our communities than Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft. I bought all those. We bought those. We made money. But if you're going to go in now and buy these, you're going to get killed. Why don't you join the gang? 85% of you are going to buy them. You're not going to know when to get out. With us, you're going to know when to get out. But more important, you're going to be in the better stocks. Look at the airlines. Nobody wants them. The hotels. Nobody wants them. The casinos. Nobody wants them. I want them. I want them when nobody wants them. The Looney Tunes are buying these big tech stocks that are up over 4,000%, 10,000%. They're all, you know, right now, they're buying all these stocks. You hear them say, money's on the sideline, money's on the sideline. What they're talking about is people who don't have any clue what they're doing. They're borrowing money to buy these stocks. The margin account is on a $1 trillion run rate. We're almost there. That's insane. Do you know what's going to happen when the market crashes? They're going to panic. Get me out, get me out, get me out. And they're going to say, well, you got a margin call, you got to send me a check. No, just get me out. Our small businesses, when you kill our small businesses, you kill this country. There's not one bus at the Capitol building today reaching out to try to help the small business. Not one. And oh, by the way, but you know what they're doing now? Putting more and more and more regulations on them. More regulations. They put in 1 year 20,000 new regulations on small businesses because they want to kill the small business. They want to kill a small business because they can't make money on small business in the stock market. Join my gang today, free for 10 days. Follow our portfolio stocks. You're going to do terrific, believe me. After 10 days, you'll say, this is the best thing I've ever done. I finally get it, and I know how to make money when the market goes down. I know when to get out. See you on the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.